Hello my friends, welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to have you here. Now there is a very interesting car coming to Europe and to Australia and to the UK, but I'm not sure about the United States. Unfortunately, you guys may miss out for a little while. And this car is most definitely coming. This is not a false alarm. It's already being sold in China by Aura. Parent company of Aura is Great Wall Motors. Now, GWM, as they've rebranded themselves, currently sell cars outside of China. So this is not new to them. They've been selling cars in Australia now for quite some time, in Europe as well, and in the UK. Now, they are actually China's biggest supplier of SUVs and utility vehicles, or pickup trucks, utes, as we call them here in Australia. Now, Aura is their sub-brand, their EV brand, which was launched in 2018 in China. And within the last 48 hours, Aura and Great Wall Motors have officially announced that their vehicles are coming to Australia and to Europe and to the UK in 2022. Possibly even some of them in 2021. Now, I've got full details on the vehicles that are coming, but this video, I'm going to focus on the car that was shown recently called the Aura Good Cat, which is kind of a mid-small sized SUV. At least it has the dimensions of one anyway, even though it doesn't really look like an SUV. Now, in China, it's called the Aura Haomao, which means Good Cat. And it's the fourth mass-produced model under Great Wall Motors' dedicated electric vehicle brand, Aura. Now, the Haomao was actually released to the Chinese market on the 24th of November. And it's available in 5 different trim levels. But there's really 3 significant trim levels, and I'll get to those in a minute. Now, prices range from around about $15,700 US all the way up to a massive $21,800 US. I know, expensive, isn't it? Well, really, let's be honest, it's an absolute bargain. Now, the most expensive model is the Good Cat GT, which comes with a more powerful electric motor, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, this vehicle is obviously super retro looking and looks a little bit like a Porsche 911. Well, maybe not, but the headlights look like those on a Porsche 911, and for good reason. The vehicle was actually designed by ex-Porsche designer Emmanuel Derder. Now, it just made its official premiere for Europe at the 2021 IAA Motor Show in Munich. And that's where we learned more of the details for the European and Australian markets. Sorry, I've left out New Zealand. I believe it is going to New Zealand as well. Good news for you New Zealand buyers. Now, apparently the Good Cat has now been renamed to just the Cat, and will come standard with a 360-degree camera and other tech goodies. But we don't know exactly what's going to be standard equipment. We don't know the exact specifications yet. But we do know a bit about the battery technology, which has taken me a freaking eternity to figure out, and the specifications of the motors, etc. So the standard model comes with a single front electric powertrain that makes 143 horsepower, 107 kilowatt, and it has 210 newton meters of torque, which is about 155 pound-feet. Power is sent to the front wheels only, so it's not a all-wheel drive SUV, unfortunately. Now, claimed curb weight for the base model is 1,500 kilograms. The higher spec model, which comes with a longer range battery, is around about 1,600 kilograms. So it's not a very heavy car. It's actually quite light. Top speed is 93 miles an hour, or 150 kilometers per hour. And there's 2 battery capacities you can choose from. The base model comes with a 48 kilowatt hour battery, and the higher range model comes with a 59 kilowatt hour battery. This allows a claim range of 249 miles or 400 kilometers for the base model, and 311 miles or 500 kilometers for the high spec model. Now, those ranges obviously are not realistic. Their real world range for these vehicles would probably be about 100 kilometers less. So you're looking at 300 kilometers and 400 kilometers of range respectively. Still really, really good though for that price, isn't it? Now, the base model accelerates from 0 to 50 kilometers an hour in 3.8 seconds. But I haven't talked about the GT yet. I'll get to that in a second. Fast charging time is 30 to 80% battery capacity in 30 minutes. So it's not a particularly fast charging EV. It doesn't have super fast charging tech. I would guess that that's probably maybe 80 kilowatt hour fast charging. Brakes, front ventilated discs and rear are disc brakes, so no drum brakes on this one. Now, one thing we know is that all good cats, or all of the cat Aura cats, will come with a mild autonomous driving aid called Aura Pilot Driving, which includes adaptive cruise control, automated throttle control, and intelligent curve assist. So, the three main models that we know about are the base model, which costs 104,000 RMB in China, 104,000 yen, which is about 21,900 Australian dollars, or 16,000 US dollars, around about the same amount in euros, about 16,000 euros, right? I'm going to guess that's going to come out in Europe for maybe 20,000 euro, and probably around about, from reports that we've heard here in Australian media, about 34,000 Australian dollars. The longer range battery model costs a bit more at 20,000 US dollars, or about 27,000 Australian dollars. This is in China. China prices, by the way, are about 19,000 euros. And the GT model, which I haven't talked about yet, is the highest spec model. It costs the most. It costs 144,000 yen in China, which is $30,000 in Australia, or 22,000 US dollars. That's the GT model. The GT model comes with a 126 kilowatt electric motor, so it has about 20 kilowatts more power. It's boosting the horsepower from 143 to 171, and torque increases from 210 newton meters to 250 newton meters. Now, the GT model can accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.9 seconds, which is pretty good. And maximum speed is 160 kilometers an hour, whereas for the base model and the long range model, maximum speed is 150 kilometers an hour. Now, what about the dimensions? How big is it? It's 4.23 meters long, or 166.7 inches. Width is 1.8 meters, or 71.8 inches. Height is 1.6 meters, 62.8 inches, and the wheelbase is 2.65 meters and 104 inches. Now, obviously, electric vehicles, one of the big advantages is interior packaging is always better than their ICE counterparts. So expect the interior to be bigger than it sounds like. Now, one thing I just did pick up from the European Munich Motor Show is that Aura are expecting to deliver this vehicle in Europe and Australia before the end of this year, where originally they were saying they'll be delivered in 2022. Now they're trying to aim for the end of 2021, which is great news. But, there is a big but here. There's some changes to the battery chemistry going on, which are a little bit confusing. I've done a lot of research to try to find out what those are, and this is the conclusion. Now, previously the Aura Good Cat had an LFP battery in the standard range version, the 401 kilometer version, but the long range 501 kilometer version was only available with an NCM battery. Now, recently the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology in China released documents showing us that an LFP battery, or lithium iron phosphate battery, will also be available in the long range version. Now, I personally think this is a good thing. I'd prefer an LFP battery if it can give you the same range. Now, the new LFP battery is made with cells from SVolt. So SVolt is the battery supplier for Aura. This was hard to actually find out because no one was talking about this. It took me a while to find out who the battery supplier was. So they are called SVolt, the Chinese battery company. The long-range battery version isn't available to order right now in China using lithium iron phosphate batteries, but apparently it will be soon. Now, the long-range version currently with the NCM batteries in China has a starting price after subsidies of 134,000 yen, 17,500 euros. Now, there's no word yet on whether the NCM battery will remain as an option in the long-range version or if it will be completely replaced by LFP to cut costs. I suspect it will be replaced by the LFP version. So, what is the energy density of the lithium iron phosphate batteries in this car? Apparently, it is 143.4 watts per kilo, which people say online means it's more energy dense than some NCM chemistry cells that are currently powering electric cars. And that's probably using older technology, definitely using older technology. Here's an example though. The battery pack of the Peugeot E208 is made with NCM battery cells from CATL. They have an energy density of 140 watts per kilo. Now the standard range battery is actually not made by SVOLT, it's made by Guoxan, which are a Chinese electric battery company. And the longer range version is made by SVOLT, also a Chinese battery company. I don't know why they're using two different battery suppliers for the different models. Seems quite confusing to me, but anyway. Now, more importantly, if you don't like this car, well, that's fine. Aura are actually bringing out, or Great Wall Motors are bringing out 3 different Aura EVs to Europe and Australia and the United Kingdom and New Zealand, and who knows where else. I imagine as many countries as they can possibly get to, because honestly, these cars actually are not selling that well in China. So why not hit other markets, right? The company bringing 3 EVs. Obviously, we've gone over the first one, which is the Aura Good Cat. The second one of those EVs they're bringing in is called the Aura Lightning Cat, which is kind of a sedan-looking version of the Good Cat. I think it looks way better, actually, than the Good Cat. I much prefer the Lightning Cat over the Good Cat. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Which of these would you choose? Now, the third EV they'll be selling is called the Aura Punk Cat, which bears a very strong resemblance to the classic Volkswagen Beetle, but I think it looks much better than the original. Now, there's also word that there's a potential 4th model coming called the Aura Sherry Cat, which is more of a traditional looking mid-sized SUV, which comes with either a 61 kilowatt hour battery pack or an 80 kilowatt hour battery pack. Now, the 80 kilowatt hour battery pack is a very interesting pack. It comes with a new lithium ion type battery, which removes cobalt. So it's kind of an NCA chemistry battery without the cobalt. And apparently it only reduces battery efficiency or energy density by around about 5%. Now, the Sherry Cat uses a 150 kilowatt and 340 newton meter electric motor with the option of either front or all-wheel drive. So I think this car could be a bigger hit. Also has much more traditional styling for Western buyers who are probably used to styling that doesn't stand out so much as the other EVs. And as for the Sherry Cat, well, the Chinese media has actually reported that the Sherry Cat is definitely headed for Australian shores. So therefore, if it's headed here, good chance it's headed to Europe and New Zealand and the UK as well. Now, I've spoken about 4 different EVs coming to the rest of the world. Well, not the rest of the world. Sorry, guys, in the United States and Canada. Not to you guys, unfortunately. But to much of the world, this is exciting news, right? We're going to have so many more choices within the next 1 to 2 years. And so many more affordable choices. And that's what matters the most. If Hyundai bring out an Ioniq EV and they sell it here in Australia for $80,000, unfortunately, most people can't afford it. I absolutely love the Ioniq 5, but it's just not in my budget, really. $80,000 is plus luxury tax costs, plus on-road costs. You're looking at something that's going to cost you about $95,000. So that's the great news here. Company like Aura coming to the market, to Australia, to Europe, to the UK, to New Zealand, selling 4 different models at prices where you can actually afford them. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comment section below and I'll try to get to them if I can. Other than that though, guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something about what's happening in the market, about some Chinese EVs that are coming to you very soon. Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.